Welcome to 33 Founders, a series about founders of the coolest startups. Brought to you by 33 Voices and hosted by Chase Jennings and Jenna Abdul.
So you can come on Unigo and then you tell the site a little bit about yourself and we'll match you up with colleges that you might want to look at. And we can do that by figuring out your personality traits and matching that with colleges. You might have specific ideas of how big a school might be or how far from home you want the school to be, and then we'll recommend you schools. We have tools that analyze all your Facebook connections, and based on that, we'll help recommend schools that people you know have gone to. And then once you figure out which schools you want to pay a little bit more attention to, we have hundreds of thousands of reviews by current students, by education experts, by college counselors, really showing you every single part of the school. So you can see kind of the traditional statistical information, but then you can also say, for any given college, show me what a African-American English major thinks about the school, or show me what a politically conservative student from Ohio thinks about this school. And you can search our database of reviews and videos to find reviews written by students who are like you. So you're really getting the idea, kind of going back to like these rankings that come out every year. Just because a school's ranked highly doesn't mean you're going to enjoy going there for 4 years and spending hundreds of thousands of dollars. So we try to match you with someone who's like you so you can see for each of these different schools, would you be happy here? Is it worth your time and your money and your investment? And you can both kind of read existing content about that school, but then you can also, through the Unigo site, have a live video chat with the current student who will tell you a little bit more and answer your questions one-on-one. Or you can have a live video chat with a professional college counselor who will talk to you about other students that they've helped get into that school and maybe give you advice about the whole admissions process that might be helpful for you as you apply and try to get in.
That's really amazing, Jordan. I think it takes the whole process of applying to college and makes it so much easier and tangible for students, which can often be really difficult.
Well, the statistic you tossed out before, which is most kids get 10, 15 minutes of college counseling, that's period. It's 10 minutes to figure out where to go to school, like which schools to even look at, to talk about those schools, to figure out how does the admissions process work, put together their entire application, figure out financial aid. They have 10 minutes and they have one visit. So that's not nearly enough time, and it's not the fault of these college counselors in public schools. They're just overburdened. So we try to figure out how can we supplement what they're able to give to take what's one of the most important and expensive decisions of someone's life and make it much more informed and powerful.
I have a question, and that is, why didn't you tell me about this while I was in high school, Jordan? Because everything helped me so much. Now,
it's nice that we meet people all the time that use the site and thought that it was really helpful and said, you know what, I went on a campus visit. Like a lot of people, they'll spend a lot of money, they'll go on a campus visit, and they'll spend 45 minutes on a campus, and that's it. And whatever you happen to see in 45 minutes is what they base their decision on. But anyone who's gone to college, like a discrete 45-minute period tells you so little about what it's actually like to spend 4 years there. So we try to fill in the blanks where we can. And we also now have a technology product that we license to colleges to help them also do a better job representing their school to prospective applicants right on their own websites. So we're kind of branching out a little bit and figuring out, like on our main Unigo site, we get about 1 million people a month come and look through that content. But we're now, through this new technology product that we call Switchboard, figuring out ways that we can help colleges right on their own websites too.
Absolutely, and I think one of the defining traits of Unigo is that person-to-person interaction. So once you've read the statistics and you want to talk to someone, people have the opportunity to log onto the site and talk to a student. What role do you think that's played in Unigo's success?
I think that's important. We have right now 15,000 current students that have said, if you want to talk to me, I'm available. You can see my schedule, you can make an appointment, and I'll talk to you by video chat or I'll talk to you on the phone, and I'll just answer any questions that you have. I think that's a really unique service. I haven't seen anyone else that's offering that level of personalization. And it lets us not just have these student reviews where you can learn about the schools, but once you figure out, these are the 5 schools I really want to go to, having that one-on-one time is one of the most important things you can do. It's like any consumer decision. When you're about to spend $200,000, you want to talk to someone who's bought that product, and they can tell you how it works. Like, I know people who, when they were getting their first iPhone, called 10, 15 people and were like, tell me about the iPhone, how does it work, does it break, is it worth it? But when it comes to where you're going to go to college and where you're going to spend 4 years, they're not taking that same process into account, so we're trying to fix that. And then with the one-on-one chats with the counselors as well, you want to talk to a student, but once you get onto that next piece, which is the admissions process and how do you optimize your chances of getting in, that's where being able to talk to a professional on demand. We have about 30,000 hours every single month of college counselor time. So you can come on, you can say, I want to talk to someone who specializes in helping kids get into school X. And we'll match you up with a counselor who will walk you through the whole admissions process and tell you what that school is looking for, and help you with every single part of your application to make sure you really maximize your chances of getting in.
So once students kind of move away from now they've gotten into college, they love where they're at, they can still use Unigo for their time during college, whether they're looking for internships, study abroad, the best place to buy textbooks.
Exactly, yeah, and then they can also become one of these students that helps other perspectives. So they can sign up and say, I want to review my school, and I want to be available to talk to someone who is interested in coming here. And because we have that kind of personal matching piece, you're not just going to be talking to any student that's interested in coming to your college. We're going to say, we're putting you in touch with a student who's just like you, someone who shares, basically someone who, if they did come to the campus, you're likely to want to be friends with. We kind of made that conscious match. So it keeps people engaged all throughout the time they're actually in college as well.
Okay, so let's shift gears here for a second. I kind of want to get into the mind of Jordan Goldman. Let's talk about your journey. At 18, you created the best-selling Student's Guide to Colleges series of college textbooks, which was a huge success. And after graduating, you launched Unigo and got over 1 million page views in the first week. What has made the greatest contribution to this kind of success? I mean, is your brain really 3 times larger than the average human, or what's going on?
No, I mean, I think it was just we were able to successfully harness something that people needed. Like, we went to college students all over the country and said, don't you want to take back the perception of your school? Right now, kind of before Unigo, there would be these college guides that came out every year where a journalist visited a campus once every 2 or 3 years, and based on spending a day there, would write 1 or 2 pages, and that was it. That was the perception of these universities. And we said, we want to take that back, because as a consumer too, like, students sometimes said the universities weren't living up to their expectations, and they had no real mechanism to get the universities to change. So here we said, look, tell your story of what it's like to go to this school, talk about what you love, and talk about what you have issues with. And by sharing that, you're going to make this decision easier for your peers, but also the school is going to see, uh-oh, a lot of students are complaining about X, and it's costing us. It's people are not applying here now because they see that this is a big issue, so we're going to do something about it. So we kind of gave students a tool to be more empowered and to really get out there and shape the perception of their school. And I think we just got lucky and it caught on and it became something students got excited about.
In addition to that mission, it seems kind of like your current success is largely due to your ability to forge strategic partnerships with brands like McGraw-Hill. Can you teach our aspiring entrepreneurs a little bit about what it takes to do this, or kind of how to really forge these relationships?
I mean, I think the biggest thing is just being willing to go out there and ask. Like, LinkedIn is kind of one of my best tools. I use it just about every day. If you have a new company and there's a larger company that you want to be working with, go on LinkedIn, find someone who runs biz dev there, and just send them a message and say, hey, I'd love to give you a call. I have a really great idea. Your company has a pain point that I think my company could solve, and would you be willing to take a call and meet up with me in person? And sometimes it takes a month or 3 months or 6 months. There are people who we work with now who I talk to almost every day, and it took 6 months before they even answered my email. But the biggest thing is just acknowledging everyone's busy. So if you have to send someone an email once every week or every 2 weeks for 6 months, even if they don't answer you, just kind of the persistence of keeping at it. A lot of times you find out after the fact, you weren't bothering them, which is a lot of people's fear. They were just really busy and they kind of appreciated your persistence. And at the end of the day, they said, you know what, this is exactly the type of person I want to get back to because they were so persistent in trying to reach me in the first place. And yeah, just finding the right people on your own and asking them and keep asking. And a lot of times they'll ultimately be willing to do something with you. And once you get a couple of those deals under your belt, it kind of legitimizes you for your next couple of deals, and then it kind of rolls from there.
Well, your journey so far has been pretty incredible, especially for someone who's your age and started out so young. What was a goal that you had when you first started that you feel like today you look back and said, I did a great job accomplishing that?
I mean, I think one of the nice things was Unigo grew out of me saying, where do I want to go to college? And saying, there's not enough resources out there to help guide that decision. When I was trying to figure out where to go to school and I was reading these guidebooks, I kept on saying, there's all this information that's just not here and I don't know how to get it. So the nice thing is, this all started because I needed a tool like Unigo. And it's cool that we were able to build something that would have been really helpful to me way back when. And this all kind of grew from that original need, saying, this isn't there, and if it's not there, maybe I can make it.
So let's look ahead for a second. What's your biggest dream for Unigo when your kids are applying to college?
Well, so our newest product is this thing called Switchboard, which is a technology that gets integrated into college websites and helps the colleges connect prospective students with current students right through their own website. So that you can go to a college's site and say, right there at the college, like, I'd love to talk to an English major, and then the school can use this technology to find you someone to talk to and allow you to talk to them right through that site to make the process even easier. So that's kind of a focus of ours as we go ahead, figuring out how can we take the Unigo experience, which I think has been really helpful on our own site, and how can we export that to college websites all over the country to kind of take this piece that we thought was missing and make it just a key part of the entire ecosystem. Because there's some change we can generate on our own site, but the biggest change we can do is by making this accessible on a broad basis. And the technology also helps connect current students to alumni, because that's kind of the flip side. You need help. Where should I go? And then once you do go to college, you need help at the end of that saying, where should I go next? And Unigo's, it's really all about connections, like connecting students with people who can help them with the next phase of their educational journey. So both with this technology product and also helping college graduates network with alumni is kind of extending the Unigo mission one more step further.
Okay, well, guys, Jordan Goldman, you can find him all over the news. He's on every day almost. Where else can they find you on social media?
Jordan Unigo on Twitter. I have a YouTube channel, Jordan Unigo. I'm on Facebook. I'm on LinkedIn. So yeah.